Welcome to the Delaware County Commissioner meeting Monday, December the 16th, 2019. It's now 9:01. Let's please stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Trust everybody left home early to come to work today, and thanks to the highway for going out at 2 a.m. this morning to keep us safe. Let's do the roll call, please.
Mr. King.
Here.
Mr. Henry.
Here.
Ms. Reagan.
Present.
Mr. Brooks.
Here.
Okay. We have an appointment for the regional wastewater. What's your pleasure on that? What's your pleasure on the regional?
I know Marla Cook is interested in it, and Tim Smith also sits on the board, and highly recommended her, so I make a motion to place Marla Cook on the regional wastewater, Liberty Regional Wastewater District.
I'll second.
And what's the effective date for the date
Immediately.
until?
Yeah.
Right, but
Immediately.
until,
The term is, I didn't check the, how long the term.
I'll have to look at that and see.
okay, thank you.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes, thank you. Two items that we had on the table here, what's your pleasure on that?
The CMC, the computer management consulting, I'd like to make a motion to take it off the table.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes. Now it's off, what's your pleasure?
I'd make a motion with the changes that Joe Reds has done. I'd make a motion to approve the service contract.
And I'll second it.
I do have one question. On page 13, the $6,000 that is annual fee, is that per company or total, the two different divisions that are there, John?
Total.
It is a total, thank you. Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes, thank you.
Just as a point of information on Liberty Regional, Ms. Cook is completing the term of Adam Sewell. His term expires December 31st, 2023.
Thank you.
I would also make a motion that we take the request of the Commission, Tourism Commission off the table.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes. And there's no deadline on this, really, is there?
No, there's not.
Just leave it.
So just work on some things and come back with a better proposal maybe. Okay, thank you.
Madam President,
Oh, I'm sorry, Jim.
Jim Mansfield, Executive Director of Delaware County Convention and Tourism Commission. I want to bring to your attention that it is the wishes of the Tourism Commission Board of Directors that after a lengthy consultation with State Board of Accounts, that they have the option of entering into a contract with a not-for-profit organization to oversee the operations of the Tourism Commission. And that is the intent of that board, is to enter into a contract with a not-for-profit. It's in its final stages of preparation to do all of that. Just as a point of reference, this would be very similar to what you see with the Civic Center Authority Board, where they've entered into contract with the DAC board to oversee the convention center. It's a very similar transition. What I would point out to you is that upon the advice of State Board of Accounts and of legal representation from attorneys in Indianapolis that the makeup of the not-for-profit board of directors would be the same as the makeup of the tourism commission that is appointed by yourselves, the county council, and the mayor. So it would be basically the same oversight, just without the necessity of being subjected to county benefits, county health plan, and all that, which as I understood 4 years ago when this was all done, it was a cost savings move on the part of the commissioners to do that. And keeping that in mind, that's what this Board of Commissioners has chosen to do.
So when do you think this will be finalized?
It should be finalized within the next 3 months. When I talked to the State Board of Accounts, asking them if there was, in fact, a deadline, as Mr. Brooks has indicated, there wasn't one. What they told us was that when State Board of Accounts comes back in to do their audit of the county in the spring, that they definitely want to see some movement on the part of the Tourism Commission to enter into this contract with the not-for-profit. So
How long of a contract do you think it might start out to be?
I'm going to say it's probably going to be a 2-year contract with an automatic renewal, unless there's something that comes up to keep it from that. Those are still terms to be resolved.
Okay, thanks for the update. Yeah,
Sure.
appreciate it. Okay, approval of minutes, please.
Make a motion to approve December 2nd, 2019 minutes.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes, thank you. Under contracts and agreements, Mr. Spangler has a firewall computer system that we're very interested in.
Good morning, Commissioner. Rick Spangler, Delaware County Clerk. We've been contacted by the state, and Secretary of State Connie Lawson is, of course, pushing as much election security as she can right now. And they've offered us an opportunity for a new firewall that would cover the whole county. I am very non-computer person, so I brought Jim in, had him look at it. He's going to tell you the details about
Thank you.
it. You got it.
Morning, Jim Fluke, IT. Yeah, Rick had sent me some information about 2 months ago, and I sat through a couple seminars that they had on this particular product, and they're started out with a 5-county test with this product, and they've now offered it to all the counties. They've got 25 counties on board with this at this point in time. The software basically is a lot of it's got to do with the endpoint, that is the PCs. The software they're providing to help eliminate any issues coming through. From what I understand, we'll still use our existing Sophos firewall, but this will sit behind that and kind of be a second layer. And then along with the software goes on each of the PCs. We requested just to talk with the gentleman down from the Secretary of State's office, Patrick Glover, and he had told us that originally it was only for 100 end users, and they have now expanded that to, if other counties want to come on with larger, that they would accept that, and I told them we would probably need between 600 and 700, and he said that probably should be good. We're going to proceed to get the contract submitted. They would then approve, with that request. There's some information in that has to be submitted in a information gathering that they would need. This would be for 3 years. They did say that they're hoping, and they're not sure, that after the 3 years where this will be totally funded by the state, but that's what they're pushing for. And if not, then we can continue with that particular product or move off to another product or back to the one we're using now. I did ask for a quote for us to have 700 license after the 3 years, if for some reason, and that was gonna come out to a little over $53,000, which is, you know, substantially more than what we're paying now for what we got. But part of this software that it has a back-end monitoring that FireEye does and keeps track and sees anything that might come through and helps modify and send back to us notes, information, and logs, help us maybe block things that may be trying to be, you know, hacked through their, what we have.
But I understand the first 3 years is free.
It's free.
They,
Basically, they're pushing to get to do this presidential election, of course, but
and you were very impressed with it.
it's for free. I mean,
Well,
and
not
I
everything.
looked at the comparison between, you know, FireEye and Sophos and some of the other companies out there, and it's rated right up there at the top.
John, did you have time to look over them?
I did. I made sure that it was at no cost to the county, except that if the county does something wrong, then there would be a cost, but otherwise, I can't envision that there would be any cost to the county.
I'll make a motion, we approve the agreement.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes, thank you, Jim, for it. Okay. Now, the BIS contracts. Ms. Anderson's here today, I'm sure, to fill us in on. Yeah, please.
Miller, are these about the same contract that we,
Yeah, Emily Anderson, Court Administrator, and I've got Michael Moore in here from BIS. These are the contracts, one is for to outfit the new courts at the facilities, and also it looks like the Sheriff's Department. This would pretty much do everything for the court system out there. Our current court system, 2007, is that our current court system? So even if we weren't moving to the new facility, we'd have to get new equipment. It is on its last leg, so we have to get new equipment, and it just happened that since we're moving to the new facility, it worked out that we're just gonna put the new system out there. So the contract you have in front of you is to give us all new monitors, speakers, equipment, recording equipment, and give us the latest technology. I don't know anything about the Sheriff's Department, what they're getting. You have to get up and speak, Jeff, for that.
And Michael,
Yeah.
we agreed this, what timeline are you gonna be putting some of this in?
Well, it'll be your timeline that works with our timelines, the best way I could tell you. We'll work with Emily on it. And I just need to get you in line. At the end of the year, we get real busy and just try to,
And the payment's not until it's all finished.
yeah, they'll work with you on that,
And
on
Lindy,
that payment.
refresh my memory, but you have some money for this, or?
No, I don't have any extra money for that.
John, we have extra money set for next year, or?
I'd have to look and see. It's $459,000, I think is what.
Yeah.
$460,000.
But it's a
For-
big deal because you were having an increase.
Yeah, they said that if we don't get it signed before the end of the year, the prices are going up for the equipment.
Alana and Claire wants just that time of year that we have our increases. And,
Thank you. See the sheriff department over there, pleased with your contract.
Jeff Stanley, Chief Deputy Sheriff's Office. I guess we just need to know if this is the same vendor that we're gonna use for investigations and the actual jail. We've looked over the contract, and I spoke with Mr. Moore, is that correct?
Right.
I spoke with him briefly, and we do have a bid for the investigations division if this is the vendor that we're gonna go with. I guess we just need to know as a department if we're gonna continue with this.
Well,
is this the bid for $34,650?
Correct.
67 cents.
That's correct. Now, that's just investigations, interview rooms, holding cells, and investigations. That's not the jail or hallways or anything like that. That is just investigations. Now, it's I guess what we would like to know, if we're gonna go with, Mr. Moran throughout the entire building, that way we could be on the same system, or is the jail gonna have different camera systems, or how we're gonna approach that?
Well, since yours is not quite as much as theirs, we could just kind of table.
Well, that's because it doesn't include the jail, I can assure you that.
I'm sorry,
That's because it doesn't include cameras, the camera system in the jail. You know, it's nothing to do with the jail at all.
It's not a security, right?
So, I mean, that's gonna be a high ticket item too.
Yeah, have you guys been out and discussed with BW if they've already got somebody that is going to be doing the camera systems with inside the jail?
I've attempted to email them, I'm just waiting on a response, and I sent it to them last week.
We'll,
They should be
we'll
here
find out
today.
here shortly.
Yeah, they should be here today. If
Alright.
you guys want to stick around,
Yep.
about 9:45, we can discuss with them concerning the part with the jail. If not, then we can get with BIS and maybe just have everything go through them.
well, we need to split it then. How much of the savings are we talking about?
For the courts?
Yeah,
You have a contract in front of you.
not the old one, but
I got the new one. If you look at the very bottom line, savings comes out to,
48.8.
about 48,000, about 50,000.
so that's what you're calling the new price.
Yeah, the 459.99.
Yeah.
We added the sheriff's video arraignment solution for them to take the inmates into an area. I don't have the drawings in front of me, but they'll have the same Kodak that the courts have, but they'll communicate with the inmate keeping him in the jail side. And that's the only thing that's on this contract, that's for the sheriff. The interview rooms will be standalone along with the holding tanks.
What's the pleasure?
Make a motion to approve.
Both of them?
On the team,
Just
and we'll talk, and then we can do this one in January.
Your motion's just for the work.
I'll second that.
Roll call,
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes,
Ms. Reagan.
yes.
Sir, upon installation of this equipment, I would like itemized list of items that are installed into the new jail. This is a large contract, and we need to make sure, I want to make sure we get everything we're paying for. So I want an itemized list. You can do it, you can give me one at every meeting, every commissioner meeting, so we see what's being installed out there. I just want to make sure.
If you go to page 5, it shows you how all the parts go together.
I understand that.
Okay.
I want to make sure we're getting what we're paying for.
Okay.
So I want an itemized list of everything you install out there as you install it,
As they're going in.
because I'm gonna go out and check, is what I'm getting
I
at.
totally understand, yeah.
Okay,
What we'll do after we ship the product is they'll take an inventory of it. Would that work for you?
that would be great. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah.
They'll be shipped out, do you know where the holding, the extra hearing room is?
Yes.
yes,
That's where they're all gonna be shipped to and held,
okay.
once we have it, once it's secure.
Yeah,
We
really.
don't wanna do it until it's secure out there.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate that.
And hopefully you understand what we went through with the last jail that we had built here. We want to stay on top of everything and make sure it's done right.
Just
Yeah,
give me a list every couple of weeks and I'm gonna come out and look.
That's no problem at all.
That's all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you look at the 4th page, it gives you a little detail of what we're taking from the courts.
Yeah, they're gonna take a few things from the
Few
current courts
things,
as well, yeah.
The clocks,
And
things that we.
is there any chance anybody would want any of the stuff that's over there?
We're taking what we can use and the rest we
Right.
pretty much can't do
Yeah.
anything with, it's so old.
And you're pushing it out 15.
Yeah, okay.
Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
we'll also need the inventory for insurance purposes.
Yes, yeah, yes, and for our asset.
Thank you.
We vote on that, we need a roll call.
We did.
Okay, yeah. Okay, now we have the,
Do you want to make a motion to table the sheriff's work contract?
yes,
Yeah, I'll
let's,
make that
yeah,
motion.
let's do that.
I'll second.
Roll call,
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
yes, thank you. Now we have the sheriff up there to tell us about his healthcare quality control.
Starting January 1st, we've been in discussion with the new company to do our jail medical service up there. It's Quality Correctional Care, PCC, so you all have the contract. The contract was given to Mr. Brook last week to look over. We discussed it. We're fine with it. The reason for this change is I think that we're gonna get a better service. Worst case, for the same money, best case scenario for cheaper money, better service for the jail and the inmates, so that's why I want to make this change.
And I understand this company's in how many counties?
I believe we'll be the 67th sheriff that's using this company,
Here in the
so
state of
about
Indiana.
70% of the
Is
state.
that Indiana, Ohio?
It's Indiana only
Indiana,
at this time.
that's a pretty good record.
It is.
John, in this contract, are we doing pretty good on getting those inmates that are on Medicaid or all that paperwork? Is that working out well?
I don't know. I haven't got any reports from the state. I haven't heard any complaints about it, so I figured that it must be working okay. Otherwise, I'd be getting a complaint.
And the person over there that, are we using, what company are we using as our go-to person?
We were using Open Door because they're there anyway,
Yeah, okay, so that's working out well.
I guess.
Okay,
Sheriff, this is also the same company that's interested in possibly putting the mental health within the facility.
It is, yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
roll call,
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
yes. Thank you, Sheriff. Okay, revised edit plan.
There were some things that we needed to fix from the edit plan based on what Jenny has paid, what's gone on. I made those changes. I sat down with Jenny. We went over some of these things to make changes because of payments that have occurred. So I would ask for that you approve the third revised edit plan.
I'll make a motion to approve the third revised edit plan.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes. Thank you, Jenny. Okay, that Tyrad, is that Tyrad? Triad General Agreement, and Mrs. Moyer.
Yes, I'm requesting to renew our annual agreement with Triad Associates for professional engineering services. It's for a not to exceed amount of $15,000, and the rates have not changed in the past few years.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Now, we have agreement, or model home permit. Ms. Moody?
Yes, Marta Moody, Executive Director, Delaware Muncie Planning Commission. It's been a while since we have dealt with model home permits, because it's been a while since we've dealt with a true multi-lot subdivision where new streets have been installed. Andy Parkinson is the developer of Bonterra Place Section B. That is a subdivision generally located at the northeast corner area of Morrison and 400 North. And he is almost to the point where he is ready for final plat approval. We had a plat committee meeting last week, and there were certain things he still needs to do. He needs to get his sanitary sewers approved by the sanitary district, and he will need to come to the commissioners for acceptance of the new streets. So since he is so close, but he's still got a few details left, the subdivision ordinance allows for a developer to come to the commissioners and request model home permit approvals. And would allow a builder to, start, construction of homes, but and we've done that in the past through the letter, which is what I've done for you to sign, and then that gets forwarded to the building commissioner. And basically, it allows a builder to start, but the homes can't be occupied, and we don't issue an address until final plat approval, and everything's done. So I'm anticipating that, he will be in front of the commissioners at one of the January meetings requesting acceptance of 2 new streets, on Terra Place, Section B. And then he'll be good to go for the remainder of his construction. And he's here if you have any questions.
I'll make a motion, we approve the request.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes. Thank you, Martin. Agreement for employment, Delaware County. Policy book, Mr. Brooks. Fill us in on the updates.
Well, let's do the
Oh,
agreement, the attorney agreement.
oh, I'm sorry.
John and his staff's done an outstanding job in this past year, and this is the new agreement for next year, and I'll make a motion, we approve the agreement.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes. Sorry, didn't mean to overlook you, John.
Thank you.
No, I appreciate it.
Hadn't turned my
Appreciate it.
papers over.
Thank you for your work, John.
Thank you very much.
It's a wonder he has time to go out and hunt.
It is sometimes.
Okay, ordinance for first reading, ordinance number 2019-028.
This is an ordinance to approve changes in the personnel policy. I met with Pam McCammon. We made some changes to personnel policy as recommended by the committee. We made changes to group 1 and group 2 offenses, and I detailed them in the email. Added a section that allows the employer to suspend an employee with pay during the course of an investigation, because that wasn't in there, and that's occurred a couple times. One of the changes to group 2 offense was we made it a offense up to termination if someone lies or misstates on their resume or their application for employment. That really wasn't in there. We also changed the personal days, increased those to, I think, was it 5? Yeah. And change the vacation schedule to reflect more along the lines of the collective bargaining agreement. And I think those are the changes. We made some typographical changes, and
We added 1 day for alcohol bereavement.
yes, and bereavement policy, correct.
I was good with all those changes. I'll make a motion, we introduce ordinance 2019-028.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes. Thank you, John. That's all I can.
Is there, can we go ahead and make that official, suspend rules?
That's what I was gonna say, go ahead and suspend the rules
Yeah.
for this.
I'll make the motion, we suspend the rules.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
I'll make a motion, we introduce ordinance 2019-028.
Well, already.
Or I'm sorry,
Need to
adopt,
approve it.
adopt, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes. Now we, oh, is that it?
And we'll take care of sending that out to all the employees, so.
Yeah, that'd be a nice little Christmas present to some of them. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, down to resolution for approval 2019-39. The resolution of the Delaware County Commissioners to transfer county-owned surplus property, Salem Township.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
These are items that are
county surplus,
Yes.
that you adopt a resolution to transfer it to another governmental entity. And Salem Township has requested these items.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes,
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
just so everybody out there knows, it's like
Thank you.
some file cabinets and some desks.
Yeah, that's still pretty good shape. Okay, resolution 2019-40, resolution commissioners to establish some policies and procedures to protect the quorum and foster the effective administration of public meetings.
At the request of the commissioners, we have drafted this particular resolution concerning the manner and method in which commissioner meetings and public input is conducted at future commissioner meetings. We've had an informal policy, or the commissioners have had an informal policy in the past. In working with the prosecutor and the public access counselor, it was determined that a more formalized set of rules and conditions should be adopted by the commissioners and then made available to the public when they come in. It sets up, the general public has the right to attend the meetings. There's nothing in the law that says they have the right to speak, which is at the approval of the commissioners in any public meeting. Sets out limitations, 3 minutes to speak, which we've always done. They have to sign in and identify themselves on the record for this. There are decorum issues as to how they're to conduct themselves, not be repetitive, that sort of thing. And so these are all items that I know I talked to Eric Hoffman about issues as well, and these are basically the rules that the commissioners have used informally, plus these are what the commissioners used at the Capitol meeting many months ago. That seemed to go pretty well, so.
So I think, I've been working on this with the sheriff and the chief deputy, and I think it's important that we adopt some rules and regulations, or at least make them known to the public, so the public knows how to act when they come to our meetings. And if they decide to act differently, then it states in their law what will happen to them. So I'm gonna make a motion that we approve this resolution 2019-040.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes. Thank you, Shannon, working on that. Okay, department heads, elected officials.
There was one thing that was brought up to my attention from Paul Singleton. I've taken a look at it. There is an agreement with AT&T to, at the 911 center. I'll have to get you a copy of the AT&T agreement, but I've looked it over. It's to switch over the phone system and the lines and that sort of stuff at 911 to get them to implement. It takes about 4 to 6 months, won't it, Paul, to
Roughly, the sooner we can get it signed, the sooner we can get it scheduled.
I've looked at the agreement, Barry Ritter's looked at the agreement. We've fixed a couple things, and I would ask for the commissioners to approve that agreement.
It's an agreement with AT&T, correct?
Yes, Paul Singleton, 911 director. This is, earlier, I believe the end of 18, you approved that I applied for a grant, and then we received that grant. And then this is what is going to be purchased from that grant. And if you recall, this is a reimbursable grant. So in between monies I have and monies that the county has, we'll pay that, and then we get a 60% reimbursement. So yes, this replaces all of our 911 equipment and puts it up in the cloud, and it spreads it out to different locations in the states. It's got a better disaster recovery mechanism behind it.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Okay. Mr. Jesse's back there and has a nice report up here for us. He was at the shop at 2 o'clock this morning, right, Robert?
Yeah, that'd be Robert Jesse, not Mr. Robert Jesse, County Highway. I want to thank the commissioners for allowing us to do what we do for the taxpayers. And I'm sure they appreciate it as well. We have kind of outdone ourselves on paving and chipping this year. We had a total of 141, almost 142 in chip and seal, and 59 and a quarter in paving. That's 200 plus lane miles. In the last 3 years, we were probably 140. So we got quite a bit done. The bridge crew, they've done like 93, 94 projects. Spent a lot of money, but we got a lot of work done. I'd like to thank all of my employees, bridge crew, highway, engineering, and office for the work that they do. That's it.
Thank you.
And we appreciate the staff and your leadership. And I'm glad that we're finally getting some good equipment out there, because I think we bought another truck this year.
We did.
So got one budgeted for next year, I hope. You have to have that good equipment, but thanks for your reports, and
Thank you.
Mrs. Dye's back there helping us too. Appreciate it.
Highway had 14 trucks out at 2 o'clock this morning. I know Jason, Mike, and EMS, they called in 3 extra trucks early for the morning commute for EMS. Sheriff's Department, Tony had some of his brass out working the roads last night. You know, they was covered up on calls, and I just want to say good job to all you guys that take care of all that. Makes our job a lot easier when you guys are taking care of business. So, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Okay. Anybody else?
Well, I'd just like to say to the county council that going into next year, looking not to have to borrow money, they've done a great job. Thanks to Donna, because I know she keeps them straight. But, no accounts in the red, going great. The highway department, we're not in the red out there either. So people look at the county, we're doing great things here. I appreciate every last one of you, all the employees here. Appreciate them, because if it's not for them, we wouldn't be in the position that we're in. Council was able to give raises this year. We were able to do some other things for the employees, because we gotta look at it. The employees are really what makes us look good.
Absolutely.
So I wanna thank every employee that we have here and wish them all a Merry Christmas.
Very good. Mr. Quackenbush isn't here, but I hear we have a new council president,
Scott Alexander.
Mr. Alexander,
Mrs. Piper, she is, Miss Piper, she is, vice president.
vice president, so congratulations
Look forward to
to them.
working with them next year, so. Great job to everybody.
Very good. Thank you. Any weekly reports? Payments of claims, $1,244,893.05.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes. Any questions from the public? Any comments? It has been a good year. I didn't know we wanted to do our election today for next year. So, miss any,
That'd be fine with me, if we're not losing anybody.
well, no, but I'd like to nominate Shannon Henry as president.
I'd second that.
January 1, okay? January 1st.
I didn't even hear that train coming.
Surprise, a little gift.
This is no whistle zone, Jim.
Yeah.
Roll call.
Mr. King,
Absolutely.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes, thank you. And I'd also like to nominate James King as vice president.
I'll
I
second
didn't see
it.
that one.
Surprise, surprise. Roll call, please. Oh, no vote. Roll call, please.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes, okay. Well, it has been a good year, and I'll hand this to you as soon as I hit it, okay?
Not me.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will get that.